It's Elaine, and it's not Thursday. I actually have an FO that's not a hat and it's not a tile. Oh, I do have a hat, but I got something else besides the hat. Um, I have finished the three in glasses, Cal. They did a shawl by Wilma Westenberg called the Bella Vita shawl. And the three in glasses were Sam from Memphis Makes and Amanda from Obsessive Crochet Lady and Rebecca from Suricata Crafts. And they got together and we picked actually which shawl, which that we're going to do. The yarn I used was Yarn B Rainbow Rhapsody in the color Brilliant Blonde. It's a one weight, 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, and it's 918 yards. And I used a whole skein plus or whole cake plus the outside of this one, this much. I used that much of the outside. And I used a 4 millimeter G hook, Clover more. I didn't have any trouble reading the pattern. The pattern was nice and fairly simple to read. I didn't have any troubles until the very last row, border row. It just gave all these stitches to do, all these stitches, single, double, whatever they were. Then skip a stitch, and then you start and do all the. It didn't mention anything about a two chain space. And if you did it each, one stitch in the two chain, one in this one in that one the other, and skip a two chain, it didn't make any sense to me. So I picked a couple of brains and Zoom, Jan from Alaska Crafter and Lynn Como, and I asked, what did you do? So they did something similar, a little bit different, but they put most of the stitches in the chain 1-2 space, which makes sense. So I did, I think probably what Lynn did, she put all the stitches in here except the last stitch she put in the double crochet, and then the second double crochet was the stitch that she skipped, and then put most of them in the chains, and that's how it came out, and that seemed to make sense to me. So that was the only question I had on the shawl. This is how it turned out. And it's fairly big, and I really enjoyed making it. A lot of repeats, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without Mary Ann's Cratchit and Cloggers um, row counter. I'll put in another plug for her because it helped a lot keeping track because you had to go back and repeat rows 14 through 36 or whatever it was, and so this helped a lot, a lot. So you can get this at Mary Ann's Etsy shop. Mary Ann the Crotchety Clogger. This was nice. Very helpful. So that's that. That is my actual finished object. That's not a hat and it's not a tile. So that's one for the books. Now, I did do a hat. Of course, every week we have to do a hat. This was a hat. This was the slouchy hat beanie, unisex houndstooth beanie. It was tutorial number 438, bag a day, of course, for the hashtag Bod Hatapalooza that Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming is doing. So we do a hat a week. And this is how mine turned out. And now Crystal uses, I always go up one hook from what Crystal is using. So this fits me pretty good. Not too bad. I didn't put a be one of those things on. Oh my gosh. I didn't put one of those on it. She used a 6 millimeter hook, J hook, and usually I go up one. The last time she used a 6 millimeter hook on a hat, and I went up to a 6.5, it was a little loose. It wasn't real tight. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try sticking with the 6 millimeter, and it fit. It worked out good. So I guess the 6.5 isn't really good good hook for me to use for a hat. It's a 4-way acrylic yarn. Um, I guess I'm guessing this is a Super Saver Patty Green color, and the other yarn was an old antique yarn. Speaking of which, I guess they had something going around the oldest yarn in your stash. This might be it. This I got at a take sale. It's one of those ones I got at a take sale. Um, Windtuck from Wonder Art. It has no one of those scanny things on it at all. Bar scans. Um, it's 100% acrylic, DuPont Orlon acrylic. Machine wash and dry. So 3.5 ounces, 99 grams. I don't know how many yards is in here. Doesn't say. But the color was white, and it's printed and made in USA. I have no idea what, but this is my oldest yarn in my stash, I think. And I did find an old yarn also when I went and did way back when I first started learning how to crochet, which would be about 6 years now this summer. I started with double crochets, and I just did blankets. And then I started learning how to do granny squares. And one of the ladies that lived in the building that my mother lived in, because that's where I learned how to crochet, was when I was staying at my mom's for the weekends with her. She gave me a big bag, it was half full of all these yarn balls, scrap balls, for which was perfect for making granny squares with. And one of the yarn balls that was in the midst after using it, I found this label, and it was Roosevelt Yarns, Roosevelt brand yarn, knitted worsted, sold only at Myrtle Mills. Myrtle Mills was the coolest store. It was in downtown Unionville, Connecticut. Um, it was two buildings. It was one building was on Plainville Avenue, which was the main road going through Unionville. Um, and then of course Route 4 is on the other side. But it was two buildings, each on either side of Plainville Avenue. Um, the front door, we always went. There's a side street, and we always parked in the parking lot and entered through the side entrance. And then you went either downstairs or you went upstairs. Upstairs, I remember a shoe repair place back when we actually repaired our shoes. Heels wore down, you take it to the shoe, they take the old heel off and put a brand new heel on there. Or they'd make any sewing soles or whatever. They used to repair shoes. The upstairs were mostly, from what I can remember, clothes. But they must have had fabric and sewing stuff and yarn there too, although I don't remember seeing any of that stuff. But mostly what I remember on the first floor, way on the front of the store by the main entrance, was like a little luncheonette type place where you could get sandwiches or drinks or something. Downstairs was hard housewares, mostly housewares, shoes. There was a pet section, if we could look at goldfish and pets and stuff. The record section, which as a teenager is where I spend most of my time at the record section, looking all through the 45s and the 33 RPM records. And then the cool spot at the front of the building downstairs, you went through a tunnel, which was actually very wide. It was very wide. Actually, they had furniture in one section of the show, but it went right under Plainville Avenue into the next building. Um, and then the other end, you came out, it was mostly the seasonal stuff. I can remember rakes, lawnmowers, shovels, whatever, Christmas decorations. That's where Santa Claus hung out at Christmas time. And then up in it was the hardware store. It was hardwares. And then in the front of the building was the toy department where all the toys were. And that's where I first laid my eyes on Phoebe the BB here when I was 6 or 7 years old. That's all I wanted for Christmas one year was that monkey. She was spotted in Myrtle Mills. So that was quite the story. It used to be years ago an actual mill. Um, I I looked up. I should have looked up the history. I did read a brief history on it a few years back, but it was a mill, and then they sold out or whatever, and became a department store. So that was a neat place to go shopping. You can get everything because I lived in Burlington and we had no stores in Burlington. All we had in Burlington was a gas station and the Burlington Inn. And that was about it. So if you had to go shop, we had to go downtown to Unionville for our shopping needs and groceries. They didn't have a grocery store in Unionville at that time. We had to go to Bristol for groceries. Yes, memories. Now, of course, Unionville has grocery stores and it's quite built up, and Burlington even has stores now too. They have restaurants, Subway, pizza shops, things like that too. But that's I just scrolled off in memory. So that was it. That's my hat for this week and my shawl, my finished objects, and I'll probably see you Thursday, hopefully for the tile. I've been busy working on my expression fiber arts and I'm behind. I have to finish up July. August has already come out. I want to get that done. I want to get caught up on that. So I still have to do a tile too. So I hope maybe I'll see you on Thursday with a tile. I don't know. I'll see what I get done. So thanks for watching everyone and I'll catch you whenever. Bye.